So the 37-year-old guy, years later, 37 years after the show, after this punk rock show, or after 3 years of playing the punk rock, the man, all he has to his name is a broken guitar and herpes. And after like 3 miserable years of 22 bucks a night and a punch in the mouth, he gives up. And years later, he staggers into a 7-Eleven, and he picks up a modern rock magazine, and he goes through the glossy pages, and he sees a huge expose on a huge punk rock band, and he sees what his genre looks like almost 40 years later. And he sees these 4 guys who look like boy models. That is to say, they look fed, they look handsome, and their mohawks are salon quality, and their cuticles are beautifully exfoliated. And the interview says, they're the biggest band in the world, they sell 5 million copies per release, they just sold out 100 nights at Wembley, and the interview goes like a punk rock couple, you're the biggest band in the world, you just purchased Paraguay. You're like, yeah, you know, we've been very lucky, we got great fans, what can we say? And so was there any one album that got you on your way to rock stardom and world domination? They go, yeah, actually, there's a record we all heard that inspired us, that made us put down everything else, pick up guitars, and here we are now. And the guy looks down, and there is a JPEG miniature of his first album on that page, and they're saying, it's that album. And the guy goes into total plot loss. He goes, wait a minute, that's my record. I am now owed that which I was so denied the first time around. And he staggers out of the 7-Eleven, and he goes home, and he calls his remaining band members, those that are still alive. He's like, we're getting the band back together again. And that's why on festival stages all over the world, you see these weird old dudes waddling, staggering, trundling onto festival stages to terrify the young audience below them as they look up in mild to severe horror at these strange ancient men with their arcane references to Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan, and the Falklands. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Remember this one? No, actually. Not even my father remembers this one. Not even Mark Twain remembers this one. And it was one thing when the guitar's down here and you're just angry at the world and you're just smashing it, it's real. But now that the guitar's up here over your gut and you're actually playing these 2-chord non-wonder songs and we can really hear what you're saying, it looked better on you when you were 17. When you're over 50, you look like a horse's ass. And the audience like, oh, like, really? You're a fat old dude who should put his shirt back on. Your tattoos are like just a mass of blue-black ink, and I don't know what you're talking about. I can see the remaining hair from your 4 strands that you're trying to get into a mohawk, migrate visibly down your back to take a pause on the lumbar region of the back in this nest of brown-gray depression, plot loss, and futility before it disappears into the ass crack, never to come back again. And so I was thinking about all that as I'm 49.9999% old, thinking, am I going to be that guy? At 50, am I going to be that? Well, back in my day, things were different, you flouncing Nelly boys and girls of pop music. You don't know what punk rock is. Back in my day, we didn't have a light show like this. We had men holding lanterns, fueled by whale oil. We had coal-fired amps, the smoke was unendurable. While we had 12 to 50 people a night die from smoke inhalation and murder. That was the real thing, you had to die for it. And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be in a cul-de-sac of plot loss, suffocation, and VH1. I want to be in 2012, leading into 2013 with the rest of you. And so last year, I hit 50 in New York City. And I emerged from this venue, I was doing a week of shows there, on February 12th. And with like 11:40, with like 20 minutes left on the clock before February 13th, where I turned 50. And I stagger across freezing streets of New York, and I find myself in a diner, because I was incredibly hungry. And I asked the nice lady for a tuna fish sandwich and a cup of coffee. And she goes away to get the chow, and I'm watching my watch. I'm like, well, you know, 15, 17 more minutes left as a 49-year-old man. And then right when I turn 50, the tuna fish sandwich arrives. Bam! And the first thing I thought to myself is, you turn 50, they give you a tuna fish sandwich. That was the first thing I thought as a 50-year-old, which is perfect. It means nothing and borders on being a non sequitur. So I said, well, there it is. And so at that moment, I said, I must sum up my life and figure out what it all means. Now that I'm at the 50-yard line of my life, which is such crap. Because if you go to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's website, cdc.gov, they have a page called the Fast Stats page, which is really cool. And it has the average American male lifespan is like so not 100 years. So I am not at that point at the 50-yard line of my life. I am, in fact, in field goal range of death. And as far as the mountaintop, I've been to the mountaintop, and I have been to the mountaintop, and I've gone over the mountaintop, and now I'm in mortality's toboggan, speeding towards the grave. I mean, that's it. And I'm not freaking out about it. What are you going to do? Cry? To keep up, getting up every day and just go out and keep jamming. That's what you do. You just get up and go, all right, it's the morning, and I'm older, and, yeah. So otherwise, like, all we do is regret. Back in the old days were better. The old days sucked. What's coming up? That's the big damn deal. What you and I are going to do. What we're doing now is this. What we're going to do, well, we'll see. That's interesting. What was, been there, done that. That's why you make records. It's why they're made out of petroleum. They're kind of carbon-based. You put them on the shelf, hundreds of years later, they turn to dust. Like, there's no more music. That's the music you'll make now. Go make some history. Don't live in the past. Let's get going. Keep it exciting. When people say, music sucks now, I silently think to myself, no, pal, you suck now. Because you can't find enough hours in the day to listen to all the good new music that comes out all the time. It's true. All you gotta do is, it's all American Idol. It's American Idol if you watch American Idol. I don't. I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying I go elsewhere. And there's too much music to listen to. I need another 40 hours a day to try and catalog all of it.